Good evening. My name is Tyler Guy. I'm currently enrolled in Kinesiology 454, Behavioral Aspect of Sport at California Baptist University. This is my psychological aspects of sport and exercise presentation. First, population I chose is active duty Marines. Those that exercise mostly because I'm already a part of this population. It's something that I'm exposed to every day. I am one, so I get to see the point of view of these Marines. I live it every day, um, and it's just a big population of exercise enthusiasts. On base, there's easy access to exercise facilities. There's gyms everywhere. There's tracks, running trails. So the Marine Corps makes it very easy to participate. Rolling into psychological factors affecting exercise adherence. First, the strenuous working hours make it very difficult to maintain social relationships, mainly working long hours in the air wing, specifically for me. Working anywhere between 14 and 16 hours every day, it makes it very hard to keep a social life, and oftentimes recreational exercise is sacrificed to keep these relationships. So the stress, that in itself is a stress, not being able to have time to balance everything in your life that you want to. Another factor that could add stress is expectations to perform at a certain level. Right now in the world, Marines are known as the most physically fit military force, so there's that expectation for us to uphold that standard. Um, Apart from work, there's other small, not really small things, but self-education, bills, raising a family. I know for me, education is very difficult. When I come home from work, homework has to take time from my physical activity, and I'm just too tired at the end of the day. Workloads also take up my weekend, so there's not a whole lot of time. There's kind of a balancing act when it comes to um, exercise time. Second half of this, some, however, do enjoy the stress reducing effects of exercise. A lot of people use it as a coping mechanism. Sometimes I do. When I'm in the mood, I have these little windows of time where I'll switch. I really enjoy it. It's been found that a lot of calorie burning. That's what specifically said in the study was able to lower levels of stress. So it is a viable option for some to use it as a coping mechanism. As I said before, there's the pressure to uphold the previously held standard. When everyone thinks, military, they think Marines and the recruit depots and recruits just working out all the time. However, there are incentives in the military to score well. For example, promotion and proficiency conduct marks. I'll explain this a little bit. The proficiency and conduct marks are where a supervisor will take your rifle score, performance, physical fitness. There's a lot of things that go into these, and they'll give you a score out of 5, with 4 being average and 5 being um, perfect. So your physical fitness does go into those marks themselves, and in addition, those marks are factored into your promotion. So obviously, taking this information, being physically fit will help your promotion opportunities. Next, this is a little bit of a drastic example, but the physical stress caused by your by working out, in addition with emotional stress and stress from work and family, will produce cortisol, and too much of that will result in overtraining and destroyed adrenal glands. I know that's a little bit of a stretch, but that is a possibility. Now, where I get a little bit excited is the exercise physiology of this. So I'm going to lay out 6 goals and just wave top them real quick. First, one outcome goal out of the 2 is being able to score the highest in the peer group. So you can aim to score the highest out of all of your rank. However, that is a very broad it's a very broad goal and not easily identifiable. However, what you can do to accomplish this, and the next goal, competing with a known high competing individual, what you can do is dedicate time to strength training, cardiovascular training, educating yourself in nutrition science, exercise science, and actively recovering and resting. This can include sauna time, cryotherapy, stretching, mobility training, things of that nature. The second one, competing with a known high competing individual. This is a lot more specific and a lot easier to identify. So, and in addition, it's also more measurable, and quantifiable. Third will be 23 pull-ups for the average male in the Marine Corps. That is a perfect score. So what I would tell individuals trying to accomplish this is, especially if they're starting at around between 1 to 5 pull-ups and they're not as advanced, I would give them 5 full range pull-ups every time a pull-up bar is passed. For us at work, we have a pull-up bar outside in the hangar that we have to pass every time we go to the bathroom. So that's an easy way to implement it into your day. I'm a big believer of low level physical activity all day as opposed to strenuous exercise a couple times a week. So that'll accomplish that. And a progression that you can add to 5 pull-ups gets too easy is to add 5 pounds of resistance every 2 weeks. At work, we're in combat boots, so that'll add about 5 pounds initially. So that'll get you well on your way to accomplishing this. To finish this out, I would tell whoever's doing this to do it with a pronated grip, because it was found that if you do it with a supinated grip, it does lead to impingement of your rotator cuff. This is due to the excessive shoulder flexion coupled with the supination. So you don't want to impinge anything. Do it with a pronated grip. Coming on the last half, a 20-minute 3-mile run. A perfect run is 18 minutes. That's not realistic for the average human. Yes, humans were built for endurance, but not many people I know can do this. I know of maybe 2 or 3. So what I would give this individual is, do 3 sprint days per week to build cardiovascular endurance as well as your VO2 max, and maybe 1 3 to 5 mile run every week just to get a little bit of a long distance run in there. To increase your pull-ups, this will be one of your specific goals, is to increase the flexibility of your lats. So outlined here, it's really easy, just hanging on a bar to stretch your lat and your pecs. This will do very nicely so that if you can stretch your lat at the bottom, you'll have greater power production. And using the stretch, shorten cycle principle, which states that when the muscle is being stretched, is storing energy. So, for example, if you're doing a bicep curl and you're going down towards the bottom, as you're going down, it'll store energy and it'll allow you to curl right back up. So if you can increase your lat flexibility, you'll be able to increase your power production through that process. Last, this is my favorite, improve mitochondrial density and efficiency. This is something that I follow in my own life, because our physical fitness test is an endurance-based test. I would choose to use the path of ketosis. It was found that a high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet will elicit 2.3 times higher fat burning. And through this, so that study took ultra-endurance runners that used a high-fat diet and a high carbohydrate diet, and made them run for 180 minutes, and then looked at their glycogen stores and their beta oxidation after the run. So, given that you burn over twice as much energy in a fat burning state, in a state with low insulin, the oxidation of these fatty acids reduces glycolysis, allowing ketones to fuel the mitochondria directly, which makes it a lot more energy efficient for your body, so it doesn't have to go through the extra steps to turn glucose into ATP. To finish out, my mission statement will be 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20. I'll quote it. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price, to glorify God in your body. So with that, I take that as God gave us our bodies. It's often said that our bodies are a temple, and I believe that we should take care of them, whether that be through meditation, nutrition, and exercise. All those go together. Also, I would throw fasting in there too. Last, I learned a couple things. One, that every group has different personalities, and each of those personalities could be utilized for different purposes. I was already able to apply some group dynamics, some things about group dynamics that I learned in the workplace, such as learning about each individual and figuring out how they can work together in order to accomplish the goal. And also, there's more to setting goals than anticipated, such as SMART goals. When I did my personal trainer certification, I went over this a little bit, but not a whole lot. And last are my references.